A common question that is often asked is how to be free of mind storm, how to be free of suffering, or how to be free of emotional lows such as depression, anxiety, loneliness, etc. All these are variants of the same question. So let's look at this starting from the basics. Let's put aside the question actually and just look at something very basic and come back to it. So when the eyes look at anything, let's say the tree there, the image of the tree falls into the eyes. It triggers the memory, which not only recognizes that there is a tree there, but it also, in the process, creates the image of the one seeing the tree here. So the object tree and the subject me is both created by the act of seeing. In the next frame, let's say the ears listen to the sound of the road noise, the cars. The hearing triggers the memory, and it not only creates the car that is being heard, but also the one who is hearing, the me. Again, the object and the subject are both created by the memory during the process of hearing. This is the exact process that happens with every sense input or with every activity. Let's say when one is talking, the words and the speaker of the words are both created by the memory. The object, which is the speech, and the subject, which is the speaker, is both again created by the memory. Now, the core fallacy, which is the root of all suffering, is the linking of the me from one frame to another. Each frame is independent. When the tree is seen and there is a seer of the tree, there is a me, which is the subject that sees the tree. Then when there is words being spoken, there is a speaker of the words, which is another me for that activity. This may sound very simple, but this is exactly the same process that happens in all relationships, in all activities. When a member of one's relation is seen, let's say daughter or son or anyone, it's the seeing which triggers the memory that says, this is my daughter and this is me. Thus the object and the subject are both triggered. When at work, when one is doing work, or when one is in a meeting or whatever, again, it's the same process of memory that creates the object, which may be the work itself, and the subject, which is the one who does the work. So, in effect, what we see here is that in every interaction, which includes thinking as well, when there is thinking about any particular topic, the very process of thinking creates the thought and the thinker. So in every activity, both mental and physical, the activity through memory creates the object and the subject, which is the me. The core delusion or the core fallacy, the core ignorance is that we link the me from one activity to another, from one moment to another, from one year to another, from one relationship to another, from one situation to another, and so on. And in this linking, naturally, the me is assumed to be a persistent entity, and therefore there is comparison of the me of this instant to the me of the previous instant or the previous year or the next instant or the next year. And in these comparisons, there is anxiety, there is fear, there is desire, there is depression, all kinds of things. So, this is the core delusion of the me, assumed to be a persistent entity across disparate frames of references. When this is seen, then it is clear that there is no persistent me. There is no entity abiding across frames as an individual. When this is seen, then there is clarity that every activity is independent and gets its fullest attention, and then it's dropped to move to the next activity. The memory, of course, persists and is always available for going back to the same activity or to the same relationship or whatever, but there is no carrying of the object or the subject, more importantly, the me, from one activity to another, or from one relationship to another, or even in the same relationship from one situation to another. When this is seen, that there is no me, no entity that persists, that abides, there is only a fleeting coming and going of me with each interaction, then what remains is nothing, simply an alert response to each stimulus. This is true freedom from suffering, from mind storm, from emotional lows, all the rest, because when the false me goes, everything goes.